Hey everyone, welcome to my top 10 keys. This is part of the channel soft reboot that we talked about. This is Justin speaking, and it's been a while since I've showed off all my books, especially some of the top tier ones. I do find ways to pull out a lot of the Spider-Mans. This list, what I did a top 10, but I do have 5 honorable mentions that I'm going to start with. It was very hard to narrow this down. I will say there's, a handful of my books that were probably, more valuable or this or that didn't make the cut. And part of that is just due to various factors. One of the big factors was I'm afraid there's a little too much Spider-Man because there's still a lot of Spider-Man in here. And then also just overall quality. And when I sort of list these, they're not 100% accurate in terms of value, but they're somewhat close and in order, but I had to base it also off quality and also off interest. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this is my honorable mention. And I've got notes over here, so bear with me. But this is Wolverine number 8 from the 1988 series. Part of the reason this is my honorable mention is because I love Wolverine. He's my second favorite character. And this is one I've only gotten in probably the last 2 or 3 years. Or maybe was it even this year? It wasn't that long ago. Anyways, Wolverine number 8, this is from the 1988 series with iconic cover art. And it's an homage to the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of my information is also coming from Key Collector app if you use that. All right. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man 316. This is third Venom, and this is his first full cover appearance. He did make like I guess you could say, cameo cover appearance on the issue before this, but he was like a floating head sort of thing. So, and I love that art. Love that. Everything about that. Oh, check that out. I didn't even read that on the back. So cool. That could have made my life a lot easier. All right. Next, we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 252. This is one that I upgraded for quality. I did have a very bad quality issue of this that I ended up giving to Wesley and Jessica, that I gotten from TJ's. But then I upgraded a while back, so it was tough to leave this one off the list. But of course, there were just too many. The description from Key Collector or actually, I don't even think I bothered with that. I just know it's like one of the first black suits because there's some debate. And I think this is the first one, in the ASM line. So. All right. Next, we have the Avengers number 181, and this one is the first appearance of Scott Lang. And fun fact about this one, I got it from Mountain Man Comics up in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And I actually really like that cover. It's in pretty good condition, too. All right, so this one breaks my heart to leave it off the main list, but because in terms of value, it would totally be up there. But this one just bugs me because of quality. Most notably, we've talked about it on the channel, but this guy's got a beard. I don't know if that's Flash or who, but he's got a beard. This T has a beard. And Spider-Man, if you look real close, they actually did some creative stuff with the letters up there. Anyways, unfortunately, the condition's not where it needs to be, but it's still one of the best books in my collection. All right, so now I'm going to start pulling, and we're going to start with number 10. This is the real start of the list. Again, value may vary. So we have Batman, The Dark Knight Returns number 2. You can see one price says 20, one says 15. I think I got this for a deal off of the Battleground auctions. Anyways, this one's value really can't compete with the rest. I think they said high end, so I'm assuming 9.8 graded. Maybe not quite that high, but anyways, just said high end is like worth $75 roughly. So, but anyways, I don't have many Batman keys. I have like maybe 2, not counting like the most recent runs that are like cool covers or first appearance of a brand new character. You don't know how it's going to work out. So, this one, I mean, if it's even considered a key, it's just part of a short series, one of the most iconic comic stories ever told. So, and I love this art. I love this cover. I actually have another one. I think I'm missing 1 and 4 maybe, or maybe just number 1, but this is number 2. Still very proud to have it. All right. Next, we're going to have Avengers number 196. This is first appearance of Taskmaster, as you can see, her first full appearance. Got this one from Battlegrounds when they had the wall display, or when they first came up with the wall display for their key comics. And yeah, this one's just really cool to have, and also trying to diversify my list as much as I can. I could probably do a top 10 or 8 at least of like just amazing Spider-Man. So, all right, next we have a very special one because this one was a gift from Wesley and Jessica when I had my eyes on it. This came from Fantasy Factory, and I know this is in one of our old videos where they surprised me with this book. Anyways, we got Wolverine #1 from his limited series from 1982. It is the first solo Wolverine title, first cameo of Yukio, and the first time he used the line, "I'm the best there is at what I do." That came straight from Key Collector, and as a Wolverine fan, this is a must-have. All right. So next, I'm just going to show you both because it's the same book, but I've got 2 of them. We've got Secret Wars #8. This does not count as a Spider-Man book because it is a Marvel book, and it's Secret Wars, but it's got a big old important Spider-Man iconic cover. And this is, in my mind, this is first black suit, but again, it's with the debate. It's at least, the origin of it, the symbiote that eventually becomes Venom, and trying to remember what else was noteworthy. Oh yes, the second Spider-Woman, Julia Carpenter. Um, I love Secret Wars. It's at least top 3 in my all-time favorite comic book stories. The 1985 one or 1984, one of those years. Let's see, 1984. Anyways, I've got 2 of them. I love it so much. This is one I've wanted since I was a little kid, and I was so happy when I finally got that. That was actually my first real big Comic-Con purchase. All right, so what number are we on? We are on number 6. So number 6, I'm going to briefly remove this. So it says it's $100 value. We have Star Wars #2. This one I actually won in a raffle from the Battlegrounds auctions that they were doing. So this was so cool because not only did I win, I won something totally right up my alley. So with it being Star Wars #2, some cool things that come along with that are you get first. It had to clarify because a lot of these characters show up on the cover of #1, but they're not in the story. So this is first story appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Han Solo, and then I think it's truly first Chewbacca, first Greedo, first Millennium Falcon, first Death Star, and the first, what I'm going to call screwy Jabba the Hutt, where they didn't actually have his design nailed down yet. And if you've seen that old scene before they CGI'd him in, it was like an old deleted scene from A New Hope. Jabba looked very different. So they had to kind of rework that later and say he's a different character. Anyways, technically somewhat kind of a first Jabba the Hutt in there. And I did not pay a dime for that one, so love that. All right, top 5, Tom. And this one is one I'm wondering if Wesley and Jessica remember this one or not. This is the Invincible Iron Man #2. Part of the reason this one is so high up here is because of the condition. This isn't in great condition. Well, I shouldn't say great. I mean, it is a little rough up here, but this cover still pops. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it is a beautiful looking book. And I love Iron Man too. I always famously say I loved Iron Man before he became so big in the MCU. I probably like him less now than I used to, but I love RDJ's version. So he got too popular. Anyways, I love this book. I have a lot of old Iron Mans, but I don't think any older than that unless it's one of the ones he was in the run with Captain America. All right, next we've got number 4. We're going to go Amazing Spider-Man #33. This one's also in pretty good condition. Again, pretty good is subjective. You can see a little rough around the edges there, but for the most part, this cover is popping. Looks really good. Didn't realize this one was valued so high. I have no idea. I really can't remember what I paid for this one. It doesn't say on the back. I think I might have gotten this one at one of the Comic Cons. I don't remember which, or even if that's the case for sure. But this is the one I'm just super glad to have it. Let's see. According to Key Collector, it says, I don't know, I thought this was a little strange. It says debut of new power, and it was saying basically this is where he shows off he has incredible strength. I don't know if that's accurate or not, to be honest. I just thought it was considered iconic cover art. So either way, super glad to have that one in my collection. Next, number 3. This is one of the more fun videos on the channel. This is Fantastic Four #19. This one is in horrible shape. Just disclaimer. But Fantastic Four #19, let's see. It's in poor. It says it's in poor. Incomplete. Half page missing. Doesn't matter because I'm not reading it. I'm just keeping it protected. but this is first Ramatut, which essentially is the guy who becomes King the Conqueror. So in a way, it's like a debatable first king, but I was a little more excited about that a few years ago. Anyways, it was pretty funny. If you ever find the video of our Farley Con from spring of 2019, I think it was the second one we went to together. Wesley had a pretty funny reaction when I pulled this one out because I did not know what I had. I just thought, oh, really old Fantastic Four, great, and I got it on a super good deal. I know I didn't pay whatever it might have said. Number two, and I've showed off my number two and my number one many times on the channel, but that's okay. We have got Amazing Spider-Man number 20. Now this one is complete mostly. Well, it says there's a pinup missing, but the story is complete. Cover detached, first page detached, trimmed. I have pulled this out and looked at it before, but I don't do that anymore. I've only done it a couple times in the 6 or so years, or maybe 7 years that I've owned it, however long it was. Anyways, I just sometimes can't believe I have First Scorpion, even if it is in really bad shape. You see, it was only $25. My guess is this exact same book probably would be listed a lot higher now because inflation is everywhere, even in comics. So I'm just super proud that I own this book. If that was in good condition, that might have been probably, I think that might be my most valuable comic if you just ignored condition and like all these were 9.8s. I think that one would have been the most. Next, and like I said, this is all kind of because of condition too. So like that First Scorpion was in horrible condition, but it's together. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 300, and I don't know what this one would grade at, but if you look, it's in pretty good shape. I know I've been saying that, but this one is a step up from the others and makes sense because it's a lot younger than those other ones. But we have first full appearance of Venom. I also do have ASM, 298, 299 as well. Like I said, a lot of comics didn't make the cut, but this one kind of checks all the boxes. This one Shane helped me get, so it's very important to me in that way. One of my favorite covers, Todd McFarlane's my favorite artist. He's my favorite to draw Spider-Man. So yeah, it's just, this checks all the boxes for me, but the condition is probably partly what puts it at first on the list when you look at how much this can go for. So anyways, I will say a quick thing. I do also have second Scorpion, which I believe is ASM number 29. That was one of the casualties of, well, it was just a little too redundant and it wasn't in great condition either. So that also is one of the most valuable comics I own. The honorable mention, the night Gwen Stacy died, if that was in better condition, would have made it higher as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you thought about the books, and let me know what some of your favorite keys are. Thanks.